Hi, this is Suze, and we are going to look at doing a rounded square stitch with our G's Bend kit. Now, in our kit, we've got new instructions that came out, I'd say about a year and a half ago. So this one I took just for a sample of today is a G's Bend cuff. It's called the Americana. And let me explain where the instructions are. Let's just show you what you get. This is the page of instructions for G's Bend, the cuff, okay? And there's a grid to show you basically the squares that you have as a lineup. You do get a colored picture to show you. And for example, let's go, and then you should have a color chart. All right, so let's just go to see how we use it. So we'll go to page 1. And page 1 basically shows how do you use it with a square in the middle. All right, so what we're going to do is I decided I would pick a sample here. I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do number 4 here. That one. Okay. So it's got a little square in the middle, a little cube. Then it's got an outline, and then it's got another outline. But I think it's going to give you enough of an understanding on how to do a rounded square stitch. Okay. So now I know what I want. So now what do? I go to get, my desk is a mess, but I thought I could get this out for Lindy. Here's your color chart. It says button side. So here's the button side. See how that works? Of course, the button is covering this guy, but you can see how this relates to these little squares. And yes, you make them separately. So the one I'm doing is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is right down here, this guy. Okay, so it says go to my color chart, and I'm going to use, I'm going to use the red cube. Then I'm going to use beads for A and N. So let's find out what A and N are. So we go to the front. A is bead F399H. Okay, let's get it up. Can we see it? Oh, there we go. And then the N is 4, 5, 7. Okay, so we've got our beads. So we're gonna, and all your beads should have your numbers on them. The numbers should correlate to the bead chart, and then the bead chart will relate to the graph. Okay, so let's kind of put this aside. We know we've got our beads. We know which square we're doing. We're doing this square. Okay, I just, for the sake of being ready, I just grabbed some thread. You have your own thread here in your kit. All right, so I'm just gonna do that, do this. We are literally, I have not done a G's Bend for so long. So you're gonna just see how quick I learn or not. All right, so the first thing it shows us on these directions, we're gonna get our square, which I have, and I'm gonna go through it with my, there we go. And now we're gonna add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads. And the 6 beads on the inner part of this are the 4, 5, 7. Okay, so we're going to pick up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and the thread, where's my tail? Okay, my tail is down here. So if the thread is coming out the top, you are going to put your needle in tail side. Okay, down the other side, because you're going to be, when I pull this, my beads will be circling the cube on that side. See that? Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over And I'm going to do the other side. Okay. And I'm going to see if they actually have 6 here or if we did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, there's 6. All right. My cube just is getting around on me. Okay, let's pick up another 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, if the thread is coming out the top, okay, we're going to then go through the other edge and pull. Okay. So basically we've completed step 2. So what does this tell us to do now? Now it tells us to go all the way around the cube. All right, so we're just gonna kind of looks like a heart right now, but we're gonna take our thread and we're gonna kind of cinch it all together. So I'm coming out and I'm going to, I always go to my left. I don't think it matters. So we go, I'm just gonna pass it through all the beads, come back around. Okay. Keep going. I'm going to ignore the tail right now. Just going to get you to kind of get your bearings here with where we are with our needle. So we've gone, it's right now, it's kind of making a circle. Okay. But we're you can see we're cinching it up. Now, the directions say as you go around and kind of cinch everything up, you always pay attention to where the top and bottom of your little cube is, where the hole is, okay? So kind of keep it like north and south. So as I'm pulling my needle around this, I'm going to go from the middle, 1, 2, 3 beads, and then I'm going to exit. So basically, you see here, I'm going to come up here. I'm just going to bring this through. And I'm in the middle. So now I'm going to continue to go through 1, 2, 3. So we're going to be exiting more on the side of the cube. Okay. And I got 1, 2, and I'm coming out 3. All right. So we've now come out. So now we're going to add our other row that goes around there. So what this is showing me is I'm exiting. All right, let's get this so it kind of looks more like the picture here. All right, so let's get it up here. I'm exiting this bead right here. I'm in the middle. Should be 3 beads on each side unless I didn't count right. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. So we're coming out that bead, coming out the 3rd bead, and I am going to pick up my next color, just 1 bead. I'm going to pick up that bead. I'm going to come on down. Okay, if I'm exiting the 3rd, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to come on down and then come back out. So you're kind of making a circle here. So here's my bead. I'm exiting. I added my blue bead. Now the thread is coming out of that bead. I'm going to enter that bead. Let's get it up here closer so you can see. Is it okay? I'm entering the same bead that I just exited. I added the blue. I'm still with the same bead and I'm going to exit it. And then I'm going to go through let's just do one step at a time. Okay, we've got that on. See, it's kind of floating right there. But now I'm going to bring my needle through the next bead. We're going to kind of do this loop-be-doop. So if we're looking at our directions, we're coming up. See if I have a pointer here. So we came out. We added our blue bead. We came back down through the bead that we just exited. And now we're going to go to our neighbor bead. Okay. Add a blue bead and exit. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. Add a blue bead. We're right here now. We're right here. I'm going to go down and exit. All right. And now we're going to go into our next one. Okay. Once I get my needle through there, I will go through it. All right. So now we're getting in place. And with this, you're going to keep a pretty tight grip. Okay. All right. You can kind of see what's happening here. Got little blue beads. So now the next one we're exiting, it's kind of the corner. And basically, what should I be? I should be like one from the middle. And I am. Here, if I look at it, this is where my last bead is in the middle. Here's my middle. Okay, let's get it up closer. There's my middle. I'm exiting this bead right there. I want to get it so it's focusing better. Okay. And now I'm going to, according to the directions, I'm going to add 3 beads. So I'll be adding 1, 2, 3. And again, if my thread is coming out, this bead, I'm going to go into the other side of that. Right there. Okay. Pull it. Get them lined up over there. See that? There's a cluster of 3 right there. 1, 2, 3. Now, I came out of that bead and I'm going to get into the next bead. So each bead, the needle goes through and you're adding a bead to the edge. All right. So here we're going to add a blue. Go through just 1 bead, go through the bead and not get twisted. Here we go. Got my thread in here. That's what's causing this little issue. Wonder if I got, here we go. Got this over here. This. Oh, I'm going to come out. I think I caught my thread. Wouldn't you know it, huh? See if I can correct myself. You know, the dreaded thing is you don't want to take your needle out. It looks like I'll be taking my needle off. Yeah. Oh, criminy. Okay, let's do this. Get this off. What happened was I had everything going well, but what did I do? I stuck my needle through the last loop without even realizing it. Got everything all kiboshed up. All right, let's get the thread out for this last bead. Got the 3 on the corner, didn't I? And I just shot that bead off on the floor somewhere. Okay, so I'm good. I'm going to put the needle back on here. Sorry. You know, you think you're so organized and going to do this in such a snap. Well, some snaps take longer, I think, than others, especially with me. Oh, kind of. Come on here. You can tell I'm getting tired and frustrated here. I fringed it. There we go. All right, let's try it again. Thanks for your patience out there. So anybody out there that got their needle all twisted up, okay, drop that. All right, so we're coming out the bead. I'm going to start again. I'm going to add a bead. We just came around the corner. Here we go. We just finished off part of the half. We're at the halfway mark from the tube, or excuse me, I just went off camera. Sorry. I just added the bead. I'm coming out. I'm going to go through my next bead. Okay. So we're looking at next bead as we cross the center. Put a blue on and go back. If you're coming out a bead, you want to make that circular connection. You want to get like this way and then go back the same bead. If the thread's coming out one side, needle's going to go in the other. All right. And now I'm going to go into the next bead. And the next bead is the corner bead. So we're going to add 3 anytime we get to the corner bead. And then we're going to go through it. Looks like you do 2 singles and then you do your corner 3. 2 singles, like now we're going to go on to a single, pass through the bead. Okay, do a single. Oops, wrong color. Oh, somebody should be here to yell at me. I get into my own beading and it's kind of down in my lap and I'm not in the camera. All right. Oops. Okay, I came out the bead. I got to go into the next one. I almost picked up a bead before I went through it. You always have to get your thread in the right place. Okay. Pick up a blue. Now we're coming to the corner bead again. I think this will be my second single. Okay, you can kind of see it's coming. It's coming. All right, now we're to the corner bead. Got to go through that. And I'm adding 3. There we go. Okay, let's get a little better. I'm waiting for some adjusting here on the camera. I am not sure if here we go. Okay, so I did the corner. Now I'm going into the next single bead. So 1 bead. Okay, we went through it. We're going to go to the next. Okay. Kind of get you are going to have to look at it pretty close when these beads are so little, but once you get the swing of it, it is kind of fun. Okay, so I came out of that bead. Now I got to get to the next bead, my next single. Oops. You want to make sure your thread is ending where it's supposed to, unlike what I did before. All right, so now I'm coming out of the bead. I'm going to add a bead and come back through. Okay, it's coming. So I'm just trying to see where can we get a really good there, right there. All right. Now we're going to go into the next bead. They're sitting right on top of each of these beads. Now this last bead is the corner bead. Okay, so I've done 3 beads. So I'm going to do this corner bead. So I'm putting my thread through that. I'm adding 3. All right, got the 3. And I'm going to come back through. And really, I've filled in now all the way around. All right, there you go. There. So what does it tell you to do? It tells us now to keep going through extra 2 more beads and repeat step 4. So we've done that. And to finish the square, weave the ends of the thread turning a few corners to secure, tie a few knots. All right, so now what we're going to do is go back through. We're here, and now we're going to even it up. So I'm going this way. So I'm just going to go through, and now we're going to secure the outer edges of the beads. Just kind of pulling things together. Okay, let's get back. I'm just going all the way around, like I did all my loopy doopies, and we'll go back through the directions. And I'm going to go all the way around and pull. So I'm just kind of making sure I'm not, yeah, right when I said not missing a bead, I missed a bead. Now I have, with this one, tension is critical. So you got to keep pulling your thread. Oh, look at how nice that's getting though. I got to tell you, I'm on my last course here. And if you feel like it, go in through a second, like we went through all of this, and then I did the loopy doops, and then I'm passing through. And now what it tells you to do is a few knots so you can keep your thread secured. Now here is, I'm going to come out, where's this, from down in here. Here is your rounded square. And the reason it's a rounded square, let's get up here and see if we can talk it through with there. I want to try to get this focused. I don't know if it's okay. So let's get it up here. I want this clear. Technology is great until it isn't, you know? All right. So what we did, we started there, we added our edge of beads. We added 6 on one side and 6 on the other. We came up through, and then we did the other 6 on the other side. So there's really 12 beads here. Then when it told you when we were exiting the middle, it said, okay, you guys, go 3 more beads and then exit. So really we exited over here, okay? Then it said to, once we exited this bead right here, we added a bead, we came up and around, and I'm going to show you on here where this is showing us. Right here. Let's get, okay. We came down, we came out of that bead, we picked up the blue one, we came back through the bead and into the bead next to it. Came out it, added a blue so you can see the loops. Then we went to the corner bead. So it was 2 was single, and then we got to the corner bead and we added 3 beads and went through that same bead. And then to the next bead, 1, 1, through the corner, add 3, and we continued all the way around. All right. Once we exited this, then what I did is I pulled my thread all the way around the beads again. So that is your rounded square stitch. And you can do it, you'll see on here. Now this one shows you picking up beads on the center. So there's no cube. You're literally doing a little ladder stitch right here, and ladder and square stitch are the same. So you're picking up your 4 beads, you're exiting 1 bead, and you're going into that bead, your corner bead, and you add 3. You come out, and I believe you add 3 more. So you're going to be going around the whole section, and I'm going to look at this. Then it shows how to do rectangulars. So if there's a square bead, I'm just looking to see here. Yeah, right here, you're adding the beads. So if there's 6 on the edge, let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, each corner bead gets 3. So just like you did on the corners, you're going to do on that particular one right there. And I think the directions are fairly, you just have to understand what those lines mean, okay? And then it shows how to stitch them together over here. So once you get your little squares done, I had actually a friend at the bead show say that she got so tired of dumping out her little squares that she put a piece of double-sided tape on her grid. See that? And then she knew what she had. I thought that was a good idea. And then you just put this away so you don't, under a plastic file, paper, what is it? Protective file cover sheets. Or just put it away so your cat can't grab it and take off with it. There you go. It's done. Hopefully it helps. And let me turn this off now and have a good evening. All right. We are completed, I think. Stop recording.